Hello everybody and welcome to my thoughts on the 5 best films of 2020. What was your favourite film? Do comment below, be interested to know if it was the same as mine. And also please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. So without further ado, at number 5, it's the Spike Lee directed movie, Da 5 Bloods. It's a great return to form. This is basically a movie based on 4 characters who are African Americans returning to the Vietnam War where they served. And very, very quickly, it turns out that it's not just a vacation. Actually, what it is it's a deeper understanding of the pain and the sacrifice that they had to go through. They do reflect very smartly on their squad leader, who was played by Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace. The movie itself plays out like an old school war film, such as Apocalypse Now and The Dirty Dozen mixed together. And it almost tricks you into thinking it's going to be some bittersweet film where there's going to be some reflection of these 4 main characters and them understanding and then finally letting go of their past. What it actually does is surprise all of us, and it makes you think more so about the impact of war and how it affects each person individually. The way they've set this movie out is also very smart. They use some real-life Vietnam footage and they bring that into the movie at certain points to show you the gore, the blood, and the effect that it actually had on the soldiers. The reason this movie was so great is actually the third act, and all that sadness and pain and grief that you could see building up in the first 2 acts is really portrayed very well. So if you are into your war movies, be it known that they are going to be a little bit gory and they're not held back, do go and watch this. Definitely recommended. Number 4 on the list is the Christopher Nolan directed movie, Tenet. Now we know with his movies what we're going to get. Look at Inception, look at Interstellar, look at The Prestige. They're very different movies to the mainstream, and that makes it very, very interesting. However, it also means that you can't just put the movie on the background and you have to focus on what you're watching. Now, one of the strengths of Christopher Nolan, I believe, is that he thinks about the theory behind the movie, i.e. when he did Interstellar, the physics of it generally was very, very good and very smart and very forward-thinking. And I think that appeals to people such as myself, who did physics as a degree, to understand that actually we're not just making a movie for the sake of making a movie where things don't work. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be loopholes in movies, especially anything to do with time, as it's so complex. But Tenet does deliver on so many levels, and the lead actors are brilliant in this movie. This movie is 150 minutes of heart-pounding action, and I like that because there is that thinking aspect of it, and especially in the third act where you almost need to draw a diagram to work out what's going on. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you're focused, get your popcorn ready, and enjoy. Number 3 on the list is a surprise inclusion called The Lighthouse. It's basically around 2 main characters who have to keep a light going. Those characters are played by Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe, both brilliant, brilliant actors. This wasn't a movie I was expecting to include, but oh my god, is it intense. This movie is a very, very strange film. I mean, it focuses a lot on Freudian theories, and it's freaky but fascinating at the same time. There's a lot of myth in there and psycho-thriller-esque portrayed throughout it. The imagery is deep and it's unsettling in the way that the music and the sound comes through. What this film focuses on really well is the erosion of sanity, and it's done in a very incremental way. And because it's in black and white, you see it slowly happen, but you can also focus on all the light and all the subtle changes which make it almost like a hallucination in your head. The main purpose of this film, I think, is just to induce disorientation, and it does deliver in that aspect. And by the end of it, because of all the mythology and the homoeroticism that it's trying to portray, you actually realize you've come out of a real experience when you've watched it. So I would definitely recommend it. Just be warned, it's very, very serious. So get yourself in a very dark room and watch it at midnight. So number 2 on the list is the World War I epic 1917. And when I say epic, I don't mean loads of explosions, but actually a really, really smart film directed by Sam Mendes where it looks like it's all only one shot. How he's achieved this has been amazing. I mean, you don't even realize it until halfway through the film, if you hadn't read any reviews, to realize that's what he's done. But thinking back on it, it's so impressive of a feat. and it doesn't detract from any of the film, you just think that they should do this more and more in other films. The film itself does drag on in small parts, but it is also so intense in so many areas that you are overly excited to know what's going to happen next. It delivers in the first, second, and third act brilliantly. The reason why I like this film so much was because World War films are always tough to produce. I mean, when films such as Saving Private Ryan came out, Apocalypse Now, they were all based around a very intense but short scene. So Saving Private Ryan, that first scene on Normandy Beach was so impressive, I don't think it will be beaten in a long time. Apocalypse Now was a complete game changer, but at the time when it first came out, there was huge issues around budget and the way it's portrayed and the way Americans thought about it. But this film doesn't think about that. This film really focuses on the smaller, more human, personal aspect of a few characters, and it's come out brilliantly. And finally, before we get to film number one, I just want to mention, I know the last 4 films have been very intense, so hopefully this film will be a bit more relaxing, if you can say that. And that is, without a doubt, everybody's favourite last year, Parasite. Director Bong has delivered something amazing here. Now, it's very, very Asian in the way it's filmed, and that is brilliant. I like a lot of those sort of films. Battle Royale, the original, was really, really good. Now, with this film, I'm not sure what it is. Is it a dark comedy? Is it a satire? Is it a thriller? Is it a horror? It's kind of everything, if I'm honest. It's one of those films where when you start watching it, it's so relaxed and enjoyable and different that you get enticed very quickly. I mean, there are some parts that lag, and there is a big debate over if it should have won the Oscar, because there were a few other great contenders at the time. But I can see why it did. It's original. The lead characters are amazing. Yes, there are some very, very stereotypical views in this film, such as the rich family being oblivious to what's going on and they're almost characterized as stupid. But what it does deliver is differences and laugh out loud moments. If you're looking for a film which is different, quirky, crazy, and just complete insanity at points, but also has laugh out moments, sit down, enjoy, relax, and watch this one. Oh, get the popcorn ready because it's brilliant. So finally, I hope you enjoyed my video, and do look out for my next review. I'm going to start putting a schedule together. I'm thinking Tuesdays and Fridays. Let me know what you think. Do comment below, and obviously if you haven't, subscribe. Thank you very much.